Well, so talking about the emergence of the coalition of united political parties, which signed a memorandum of understanding yesterday in Abuja, getting a little more perspective now from Mr. Emmanuel Ayegbonam, who is a political historian. You're welcome to Sunrise Daily.
Thank you so much.
Let's just quickly, what did you make of the coalition, so to speak? I mean, you have our PDP, our APC, and some people say as many as 37 other parties. Some say 32, some say 37. But I imagine that the numbers might keep increasing as we get more information on the details of the MOU. What did you make of it yesterday?
Well, it's an interesting dimension of our political trend or pattern that we go through this way, and then within a serious or severe contest, first and foremost, we must identify political party as an institutional aggregation of various interests banded together by the common purpose of winning political party and retaining political power and retaining it as long as possible. So if you take the historical trend, even from the First Republic, remember you have the United Progressive Grand Alliance, UPGA, and then NA. Within the Second Republic, we didn't have these coalitions, but there were moves then towards PPA until eventually, from Mega Party and the rest of them, we saw APC. Now, the trend now is that
CUPP.
It is UPP, which now we now most likely is now poised to pay APC back in his own coin. And that is what the trend is at the moment.
Is it a good trend, or is this something we should be worried about? Because people usually see this as elections approach, and sometimes they wonder, are they really sustainable? Do they really have that staying power? We've seen the crisis within the APC. You know, you still see groups identifying themselves as individual, you know, strands within the political party. Is this something that is good for the country?
Well, the issue is this. If you are talking of stability, policy, good governance, one will not endorse this, basically, because you may, like I said, you have aggregation of various interests, which we saw in the APC, that immediately the 5 governors left the Eagle Square in course of the PDP convention then. The crack started. It now came up as APC. But immediately after the presidential election, by the inauguration of the National Assembly, we saw what? A season that really there was what? A strange marriage. And we have been able, up to this moment, we have paid dearly for it. And we are still paying for it. So in that context, it may not be what? A healthy development. But I have to say one thing, because all of us are looking at defection or coalition or merger as a new trend. It is not. The most popular politician of the 19th century in Britain was what? Winston Churchill. Churchill in 1901 was a conservative. As in 1904, he left to what? To join the liberals and came back again in 1925 to conservatives. He said one thing, and which we all bear in mind, that in politics, a lot of people change their mind. Some people change their mind to avoid changing their party. And some people change their party to avoid what? Changing their mind. So it is a natural issue which goes on within every political session. But ours is that we have this groove that you cannot even differentiate. Because if we really take the template for registration of political parties, can any person defend that we have geographical spread, that we register 30, even up to 65 political parties in Nigeria? Just the way we are doing with universities. We have 100 and something now. As at 1992, we didn't have up to 32 universities. So you see, when a natural trend of instability, of running to alternative rather than solution to issues, bears out itself in the political trend, then we will now shout.
Well, right now, people are wondering, this coalition is not a political party, but they are hoping to field one presidential candidate. What are the steps you think, or the hurdles that they have to cross to be able to achieve that?
Well, I think constitutionally, our provision in the Constitution is that you must be a member of a registered political party to contest any of these posts. But the same Constitution did not prohibit merger or coalition. If you take a very deep look at the proviso to Section 68 and 109, you will see that it gives you room, even when you defect, in course of a merger. And Supreme Court decisions in Federico Angoni, Second Republic, and even within our own context now, Abegunde and Ondo State House of Assembly, gives room for that waiver. So in actual fact, coalition, if you take a look at our constitution, or merger, is not prohibited. Meanwhile, like I said, we have seen this before because Atiku Abubakar is now a big reference point. He has moved from one party to the other, and then even Supreme Court decided in Attorney General of Federation.
We will come to that shortly. Will they be able to maintain their identities while at the same time fielding one presidential candidate under the coalition for united political parties, or will they have to change their identities in all?
Well, it depends on the option left with them. They can move into a political platform that maybe they have in mind. And then when you go on the polls, you don't vote by party. You go with your PVC. So the mobilization now and conviction makes the issue. So the forum may not be. They may and decide that, like I said, you have had UPGA, we have had the rest of them. They can now decide and say, this is our candidate, and we are voting for him. Then they can take that option. Or may now decide that this is a political party which all of us are going into, and then they'll sort out their problem.
So this is our candidate and we can all vote for him, retaining their identities, because some people will say that a candidate cannot run without a political party.
He can be a candidate of a political party and others join forces with him.
I see. And
then vote for him. On that terms, like I said, even up to now, we still have what? The emblem of what happened in 2015. The deputy president of the Senate is still PDP. And it is still a remarkable instance of history that only 15 members of the APC in Senate voted for the president of the Senate. With a majority of PDP members decided that slot. So ideology means nothing to us. So stability, like I said, we go for alternative rather than solution to issues. And so whatever comes up, we take it with the heat and desperation at the moment. And that is what this will lead to.
Well, how do you think we can get more stability? How do you think we can become, we can have viable political parties that are more stable through, through different administrations, so to speak?
Well, if we wish to build institutions, the political parties are coming back to us now, a few weeks to election, where we were there 3 years ago. So in everything we do, like I said, we go on this desperate, anxious drive, and it brings us to that. But if we be political parties on policies, arrangements, and then you have debate and cross-fertilization of ideas. Since 1999 till now, we have returned presidents who ran away from public debate. We have not bothered about that. Then we have not talked about public institutions and public administration. So all we are after is what? Stomach infrastructure. Determined by what? Who gives you 1,000 naira or 500 naira to queue? So it has now become what? An entrenched culture. And we may not run away from it.
Are you optimistic about this coalition, though?
Well, the issue is, like I said, we have a trend that once we identify a political party or a figure as our headache, we will go the other way to take it out. And that has been the issue. So if that becomes the issue, like I said, APC became a presidential check that bounced. With every policy for almost 3 years, they were still looking for what? Finding their forte or looking for a viable project of conviction. In the course of that, it can lead to what? They're being paid back in their own coin. For after 16 years, the behemoth left. So after 3 years, a new coalition or a new emergence can go.
Oh, we never can tell what will definitely happen. Well, we have to thank you most kindly for coming on Sunrise Daily. Mr. Emmanuel Ayegbunam is a political historian. Well, that's where we'll wrap it up on Sunrise Daily this morning, but you can definitely send your reactions. What do you make of the emergence of the coalition of united political parties? Tweet at us or send us a mail. Thank you for watching this morning. I'm Maokwe Ogun Yusuf. It's back to the guys in Lagos.
Well, yes, indeed, and we'll be glad to receive those comments from the viewers out there. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I'm Chamberlain Uso.
I'm Gimba Omar.
Now I'm Nell Tagbe. Enjoy the rest of your day.
The views and opinions expressed by guests on this program are those of the maker and do not necessarily reflect the views, opinions, and endorsement of Channels Television.